Well, hello, and welcome back to the Chris McPherson Show. We're now going to start something a little different on our channel. We're going to start doing some little short previews of some of the NBL action after some discussion with some of our loyal listeners. So we're going to kick this off today. We won't be doing it every day, but we will get into them when we can and when we can squeeze them in. But we're going to kick it off looking ahead to tonight's game, Adelaide and Cairns. And let's have a look at how it all shapes up. And at 15 wins and just 4 losses, Adelaide sit on top of the table. And it's their best win total since 2018 already for a season. But inside their group, there's a very clear sense they're not quite there yet. Christmas Eve at home feels less like a victory lap at this point and more like a stress test, because for all the wins, Adelaide still haven't consistently put together a full 40 minutes. On the other side, you've got the Cairns Taipans. This is another chance for them to answer the same question they've been asked all season. Who are you really? Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. And Adelaide have been elite on the road, strong at home, and ruthless enough to win games even when they haven't played well. But here's the catch. Fourth quarters have been their lowest scoring period across the season, and second halves are now a real internal focus after last week's collapse against Sydney. Cairns, they're the definition of volatility. A 47-point explosion from Jack McVeigh only 2 games ago. Then they follow it with a 42-point loss 2 games later. The same roster, the same season, completely different performances. Which Cairns are you going to get? That's the question. But the biggest question's in this. Can Adelaide finally clean up their second half against a team that thrives on momentum swings? Cairns, we know, can absolutely swing momentum. We've seen that in a number of late games. They have the chance to swing things and ride the momentum and all of a sudden catch you napping. On the other hand, which Cairns team shows up? The connected, confident group that puts up big points led by McVeigh, or the one that unravels when punched early and all of a sudden falls away from the points just to be blown away? And of course, is this another Bryce Cotton takeover game, or are we due for some regression? He certainly put up big numbers previously against Cairns, going over the 50 mark earlier this season. But let's talk about the underlying stories. Fresh off a new 2-year deal, Zylan Cheatham was refreshingly honest this week. He was saying that his group at Adelaide is only scratching the surface. And that's telling for a team with this record. 14-5, only scratching the surface. Is that hype, or is it an ominous warning to the rest of the league? For Cairns, the McVeigh evolution is real. He's no longer just finishing plays. He's creating, handling, and carrying responsibility late in the clock. Those reps are accelerating his growth fast, but there's so much falling on his shoulders. He needs other players to go with him. And when they do that, whether in terms of putting up points, rebounds, and assists, or just in terms of the heavy lifting around the court, Cairns are a different beast. Adelaide, they're winning, but they know they're still chasing the process. Cairns, you feel like they're still searching for their identity. Let's talk the matchups that matter. The obvious one, Bryce Cotton versus Jack McVeigh. Cotton averages over 25 a game against Cairns and has already dropped 53 and 41 on them this season. He clearly loves this matchup, but the sneaky important one is inside. The big boys, Sam Wardenberg versus Isaac Ice Humphries. If Wardenberg can stay out of foul trouble and keep Cairns organised offensively, they stay connected. If Humphries controls the paint, Adelaide dictate tempo and it clears the floor for others. In terms of the X factor for this one, it is shot selection. If Cairns start well, they get downhill and resist settling for early contested jumpers, they can absolutely hang around and go toe-to-toe with this Adelaide side, despite this being first versus last. If they fall into quick threes and rushed offense, Adelaide will grind them down and absolutely lay them out. But here's how I see it. If Cairns start well, and that's the key, they can keep this within single digits. The line currently sits about 13.5, and that feels a little generous. I think Cairns will either cover very easily or blow out. I'm leaning them to cover. I think we're starting to see a little bit of a turning, and they are going win-loss, win-loss. So this should be a good performance we're due for, but provided they don't dig themselves into that early hole. And yes, I'm going to go the cardinal sin here too. I'm actually backing against Bryce Cotton. Not a bad game, just under the points. Sitting around 26.5 to 27.5 at a lot of places. I think you'll still probably put up 19 or 20, but the volume has been outrageous, and this feels like maybe a night where Adelaide spread the load. For a little bit more interest and value outside of that, let's go Mojave King, 2 or more threes. He's getting some cleaner looks at times, and Kansas' defensive rotations can be late on the perimeter, meaning he's going to be busy up against Adelaide. He'll get plenty of work at the offensive end. But by the end of Christmas Eve, we'll know if Adelaide are a contender tightening into their habits and driving towards locking in top spot, or a team still winning just despite them. And we'll also know exactly how real Cairns' ceiling actually is as they come up against a top-tier side. But until next time, big thank you to you for tuning in to your home of the Black and White of Sports. Make sure to hit subscribe, give the video a like, get involved in the comments, let us know what we've got right or wrong. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. But until next time, we look forward to talking to you again then.